Well, good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another RSG live lunch stream. What is the lunch stream? Well, that's where we just hang out with you good folks for the next hour or so. Do some monster reviews, answer some of your questions, kind of hang out and bring you some entertainment and joy in your life during the indulgence of your work day, especially being Monday. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everybody's had a great weekend as we begin the work week. So we bring you something to listen to, and I bring along, of course, the crew along with me. And, of course, we have, of course, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman.
Hold on, I'm doing a greater rift. I'll get back to you.
You doing what?
Diablo 3. I have a greater rift going right now.
Oh, for God's sakes. Also join us, who will be scooping up all your questions and monitoring chat, is the one and only, the soulless one, Saintly Red.
General Kenobi!
No. That wonderful giggle you hear is, of course, the Purple People Eater herself, the one and only, the lovely Dana Descent.
Afternoon, everyone.
Hey. And, of course, last but not least, from across the pond, the father of two women who swear worse than sailors, the one and only Mike Hunt.
Twisted my melon, man.
Right, we don't speak English here, so...
It's a Happy Mondays line.
Oh, well, we don't know. Again, we don't speak English here.
It's a good song. I'll send you the link. It's a good song.
All right. Please don't. So anyway, we're moving on. We got a couple roster reviews today. Any mechanisms we need to work out or talk about, Finn? We got the Patreon that we got started. If you'd like to support us, you can go to the Patreon page. And, Finn, people have been asking us to up the level. Can we do that?
Yeah. So one of the things with Patreon, a couple of things. One, you can increase however much you guys want to donate, right? But part of it for us is if we have different levels, we need to provide something. And we don't want to just put levels for the sake of putting levels, right? So we want to give you guys something as a result of it. But we are... honestly, so open with the community, it becomes hard to give away anything. We do roster reviews for anyone. We answer questions if you guys answer it on the Discord and stuff, and we don't want to make that just exclusive to Patreons and stuff. So, the VIP channel that we have, you get access to with the 5, and that just gives you a little bit of a head start into seeing some of the content that we put out. So I'll tell you right now, one of the things the VIPs will see is some sneak peeks into the Twinkie making, which I plan on doing either Tuesday or Thursday this week. And so they'll be able to see that kind of stuff. So if you guys want to see that, hurry up into the Patreon and get your $5 access that way. But yeah, we will be increasing the levels. The only thing is we're trying to figure out what exactly we can give you guys that'll be worthwhile for it. But if you guys do want to support us, you can increase your donation without having to do anything with the lowest amount in the tier and then provide more that way.
All right. And then what else? We got some more stuff on the Amazon wish list for people, I think. So if you want to check that out. Of course, that was started because of the lovely Ouchie Dumpling not letting us say no. So I put a bunch of D&D books that I need that would be nice to have. This is all for fun, guys. There's nothing, you guys are very kind and generous, but we always like to have stuff up there. V-Mods was cool, got me some dice, and people have been very generous, and we're very appreciative of that. So we keep the Amazon wish list with stuff in there. Some is just outrageous, all right, I'll put some outrageous stuff in there so no one has to, don't ever get that. And then it's okay, what do we need? So there's that. Of course, make sure you like and subscribe if you're watching this. You obviously like the channel, so being subscribed, one, gets you up to date on when we're doing stuff, and we're doing a lot of stuff. Yesterday we did the D&D stuff, where I kind of gave you a sneak peek into how the sausage is made, and a little bit to some of the characters' bios and stuff like that, and how we kind of create all that stuff. We'll get back to the regular playing next Sunday. We'll start Battlefront again this week. Waiting for Vince Hill's schedule before we start picking that up again. He had to get his new school schedule, so the times that we play might be a little bit different, so stay tuned for that. But there's a lot of stuff that we got going on, and if you want to have notifications for it, the best way is to be subscribed. Also, giving us a thumbs up on our video really helps us out. You know, all that helps us monetize. It helps us just to keep putting out content. So if you want us to keep putting out content, these are the ways that you can help support the channel and all of our endeavors. So that being said, let's get into the roster review, shall we, folks? So the first one we have today is for Valron. And he is in the Force Raiders. I had to include the S's because that's the way it is. And what does old Valron want today, Finn? If you could take yourself from the Greater Rift for a second.
Yeah, I know. I just finished just the timing. So he's looking. He's a Grande review, and so he is looking for just kind of a general review. We'll look at his mods, we'll look at his roster, and just give him our general advice.
And Grande's not here.
Of course not.
Dana, how do you feel about Grande not being here for a roster review? He made us.
It makes me want to go and start another Greater Rift.
It makes me want to find Grande and punch him in the knee. Give him one Charlie horse right above the knee. Right there. So like he'll think about it and rethink his life. That kind of thing. All right.
If you punch him in the knee instead of the thigh for a Charlie horse, is that a Charlie pony?
I think that could work.
Don't ever... No, Finn, that's wrong.
We're going to give Grande a Charlie pony?
A Charlie pony, you're... Finn, you're a very creative man, and you come with some amazing stuff, but wordplay ain't one of them, so please stop. Charlie pony. My God.
And you said it 3 times since. I consider that a victory.
I consider that a defeat for everyone watching and all the little children in the world. All right. So just a general overall, just roster review and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll look at, first thing, obviously, he's seems to be moving up a little bit, but he's still just in the top 100 of Arena.
He's in the, so he's getting there. I think that roster that he's got to keep working on Nihilus and Scion. There's a team
but he has him at gear 11, so definitely viable.
Yeah, very viable.
Let's look at his overall collection of characters, because collection of characters is important, especially for Arena. Arena isn't necessarily about, and it is partly, having the current meta team plus having them with good mods, right? But the other thing is also, if you have the current meta team, you're playing... Instead of playing rock, paper, scissors, and we've mentioned this before, you're playing rock versus bigger rock. And whose rock is bigger? You can still play rock, paper, scissors.
I have a big rock.
Well, you can use that in order to give Grande a Charlie pony. So you want a collection that allows you to pivot. And so that's why you want to be able to play a rock, paper, scissors game. So if you're facing one team, you may be able to use another team, and so on and so forth. And it makes your life a little bit easier. Part of the struggles that I've seen with a lot of people in terms of going farther in Arena is that they're playing this rock versus bigger rock game. And if your mods aren't necessarily as good, you're going to have a hard time being the bigger rock. Right. And so... looking at overall your characters, right? You have the Emperor Palpatine kind of team that's without Traya, which is kind of the non-Traya Emperor Palpatine meta team, Emperor Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, Nihilus, and Scion. So you're good there. And we'll take a look at your Zetas to see if you have all the Zetas you need for those guys, but you have those characters. A potential counter includes certain characters that are pretty prevalent no matter what state of the meta you're in. And there's 3 characters in particular, or I should say 4 characters in particular. It's Commander Luke, Han Solo, Rex, and Kenobi. Those 4 characters are pretty much usable in every meta in some way, shape, or form, in some combination, in order to give you some success against whatever the meta team is, just simply because of their kit. And so let's look at the roster that you have. So your Commander Luke is gear 12. Yeah, so you're good on your Commander Luke.
OG Han.
No Zeta on Commander Luke, though. I just checked. No Zeta on Ipa and Salt thing. So it may be something you want to invest in. We'll look at your Zetas after.
Yeah. OG Han is only gear 9, so we got to get him to gear 12 with that bayonet.
Yep.
I'm looking for his Rex. I'm not seeing it.
His Rex is 7-star, level 74, gear 7. So work on your Rex. Rex is a solid character to have just ready to plug in almost any Arena team. So he's another character. And then your Kenobi is 5-star, gear 8, level 85. So you want to get his gear up as well. He is viable at 5-star. Not in your particular meta team, obviously. You have a Scion that's gear 11, so stick with your Scion, but work on your Kenobi.
No JTR.
Yeah, no JTR, but he does have a 7-star BB-8. So let's look at where his scoundrels are.
Well, his veteran is...
Both of them are 6-star.
Okay, so he's well on his way finishing those and be able to get JTR. So that'll be really, really nice for him. So that's just around the corner here in the next month or two that he'll be able to get his JTR, which I'm pleased to see. So he's in a good position to get her. I don't think he'll have any problems getting JTR. So let's see.
Yeah, so those are just some characters you can work on that will help you in Arena to help with countering whatever meta teams and stuff that you're facing. So I think that basically focuses on the character. Now you can focus on particular factions if you want. It looks like, and I'm trying to see where's his guild GP is 95, so it's pretty unlikely that he's going to be doing heroic Sith right now.
No.
So you're going to want to be preparing for that. You do have how many? It looks like about...
He's working toward the JTR team.
His guild does have 15 JTRs, it looks like, which if they're able to do a lot of damage in Phase 1, it is possible that you guys can clear the heroic Sith rate. So
yeah, because you can use a lot of those JTRs in Phase 2. You know, it's like, I'll go in there and get some good damage. You know, so if you have 25 solid, the other 25 can be used to get to Phase 2.
No, 15. Yeah, 15.
Oh, I'm saying, but once they get to that point, you know...
Oh, yeah. But I think even before that, right, if those 15 players are really focusing on getting their Jedi training raid team up in order to push you guys through Phase 1, you could potentially work your way through. Now, Phase 2 is a little bit of a grind because you do need characters like Wampa, who I don't see as...
Yoda or Wampa Wampa.
Yeah, I don't see them as unlocked at all. So hopefully you're working on them.
Get Hermit Yoda first. And then
the only way I would disagree is if his guild is working towards heroic Sith.
Well, even
then I would go with Wampa, because I think Wampa you can use Wampa without Hermit Yoda and get a decent score in Phase 2, because Phase 2 is gonna be your stumbling block if you're not ready.
Well, it could be, but I still think that Hermit Yoda is just a better overall character for the Sith raid and in other areas too. I mean, Wampa's really good, but he's very specific in what he can do in certain areas. I think you get...
No, I use him in Arena every now and then too. I agree with you. Hermit Yoda's a little bit more usable, but I can still use Wampa in a few different places.
Well, yeah, but if I had to pick
and he's killer in territory.
I mean, if you had to pick one or the other, so you do it two ways. You can do it to where you unlock both of them at 5-star. And then work one or the other, 1 to 7 stars, and then go back and finish the other one to 7 stars. Or you can just focus on 1 to 7 stars all the way, and then go back in and get the other one to 7 stars. So that's what I did. I got Hermit Yoda to 7 stars. Now, after this light side territory battle, will unlock Wampa, and I'll keep grinding him until I get him to 7 stars. You know,
I would focus that way too. Whichever character you pick, Wampa or Hermit Yoda, I would just take them all to 7-star first.
Yeah. What are you seeing, Dana?
Well, I agree with you about Hermit Yoda. I definitely think that he is a little more useful for someone in his position. Are we looking at... I've been looking at his teams, like, for the Sith raid. I don't know if that was something that
we can look at
wanted
that.
advice
Absolutely.
on, but definitely, like, it seems like he's working on all of them, which is cool to see. I think, like, when I know I did that, like, I wanted to collect them all, and then I worked on, like, gearing and leveling, but it looks like a lot of his teams, like the troopers, look really good. His Death Trooper needs to go from 4 to 7 stars, but otherwise they're looking good. They just need some gear, I think, if I remember. I've been writing notes down. Yeah, so some of them just need some more gear, and Death Trooper could go from 4 to 7.
I think he's going to finish the veterans, and then he'll probably go into Death Trooper to finish that.
Yeah, definitely the vets first. Yep.
Is he in the chat?
No idea.
I don't see him. He's usually Andrew Bruce in the chat.
Yeah, I don't see him.
I'm loving his mate Philip in his guild. Must be related. Must be related. He's got a plus 24 crit chance.
Yeah. You should see that, Ranger. Go to his mods and sort by
Such a
speed and look at his
sweet
first
mod.
one. It'll make you cry.
Why?
Such a sweet mod. It looks also like he's just recently
No, it's a
unlocked.
24 speed secondary.
Looks like he's just unlocked speed mods. He's got 18 with secondary. So I'm assuming that he's new into that and he's working on those.
Yeah, and only 4 double digits, so he definitely needs to
Yeah.
work on speed set.
And the bottom one's a 2 dot, so which doesn't really count.
His mods are semi-focused on his arena team.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm seeing some like on Vader's got the 24.
What was Dango?
Dengar's got an
Yeah.
18.
Well, Dengar's an 18 arrow, so I'm not too concerned about that one. But
Oh, that's right.
he has one on Chopper with 13 speed.
Yeah.
He has
Another one
Daka
on
with
Vader.
13 speed.
Oh,
Vader's
yeah.
on his team right now, right?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
running the Emperor Palpatine, Vader, Scion, Nihilus,
So that's
Thrawn team.
good.
But there's Chopper,
Daka's got
Ezra,
one.
Daka.
Yeah, you need
R2.
your best mods need to be going on your arena team. It's just the way it is, and then work your way down from there. So it looks like he's
Should-
farming more mods, but yeah, we need to kind of go back and redo your mods a little bit. Because there's some mods here that could go on your arena team that's like they're not on your arena team. You're gonna say something, Dana?
Oh no, I was just gonna. Night Sister Zombie shouldn't have a speed mod, should she?
Yeah. You want her
she said-
fast, but
should
no, stats. So, offense is
Okay.
fine, stuff like that. But but if it's a protection one, you're like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
The reason for it in particular is because once you kill her, she doesn't really come back with turn meters. So you need her to go fast in order to try and bring that taunt back up.
Okay.
So you want her to be fast, so she's always having that taunt.
But yeah, I think he's on the right path with speed mods. Keep farming those. So it looks like he's got to finish the veterans. He's got to finish. Keep working on speed mods. He needs to kind of revamp a little bit of his arena team, just to get the most bang for the buck. And then focus on some of these characters, like Finn said, OG Han, GK. I mean, these are your Rex. Get those done first, and then you can start worrying about like your teams for Heroic Sith, your First Order, your Night Sisters, your Chex Mix team for Phase 3. Those are the teams that you start going on the line that you can do. Once you get your JTR, then obviously you want to get JTR and BB-8, that team rocking and rolling. Farm Hermit Yoda, you can put him on that JTR team, and that really makes a huge difference with damage. I mean, because I go in there with JTR, BB-8, R2, Scavenger Ray, who I've got Gear 12, and Hermit Yoda, and it's just like, keep going, Scavenger Ray, keep hitting, go, Gadget, other Ray. So it's a nice combination. I know that some people use Resistance Trooper and stuff like that. There's a ways to go, but there's lots of videos about that out there, so that'll really help you out. Alright, so anything else we need to look at? I think kind of a general. I've kind of covered everything. What do you need to work
I think
on?
that covers everything. We can look at his ships really quick just to take a look at what ships he's working on. But
did you ask for ships?
I think that. I mean, he's just a general review because of Grande. So.
Oh.
Yeah, he has all of his like major ships that looks like he's working on. He has a Gear 12 Vader for his TIE Advance. He has a Gear 11 Biggs. He has a TIE Advance, a TIE Fighter pilot at Gear 10. If you're using that one, get him up to Gear 11, if not 12. Maul is 7-star Gear 9, it looks like, so you might want to get him up a little bit. Trying to see. I'm having a hard time figuring out what exact ship lineup he's using because a lot of his characters are only Gear 9 or Gear 10.
We don't know. Maybe he's not that invested in ships, so we don't have all that information.
Yeah, so you may want to work on some of the pilots and stuff, but that overlap with uses in game, right? So you don't. Looking at your roster, you're still building as a 1.6 million GP, so you're still focusing on characters, which is fine. Try to see if there's any overlap in particular characters. So if you're looking for a faction, for example, First Order, You can get ships and stuff too with Kylo Ren unmasked with a tight silencer. You can get the Kylo's command shuttle, which is a good ship. So different ones. Just keep on farming it, and then if you have any other questions, just let us know and we can help you.
Been told by name.
What are his Zetas? Did we look at his Zetas?
I did not.
Let's see what his Zetas are. Where are you, Valron? Did you have them up, Stanley?
Well, I thought we were done, so I closed it.
Oh,
but
okay.
He has most of them on his Sith Nightmare team.
Yeah, so he has Nihilus and Scion with Zetas. He has the Vader lead. He has double Zeta Palpatine. He has Finn. He has Ebb and Flow, and he has Number Crunch on R2.
None on Kylo Ren.
None on Kylo Ren. So next one, I mean, depends on which direction you're going. It Binds All Things on CLS is a good one.
Yeah, there's that one. I mean,
Han,
he could start,
if you're going to start working on him.
Get Han up. That's one you want to do. But I would say after doing Han, the JTR event's coming around the corner. You're going to need one at least for her leadership. And did you say he had BB-8's one done?
He has none on BB-8.
Right, so those are the two you're going to need. So I would save up Zetas for those two at least. Because you're going to need
BB-8's roll with the punches can work with the Finn lead as well.
Sure.
So, and you have a Zeta Finn lead, so you can Zeta BB-8 and still make use of him now before Jedi Training Ray comes. So.
All right, I think that should cover it.
That covers it.
And if you have any questions, you know where to find us in our Discord. Just get with us, and we will rock and roll and get you squared away. Okie dokie and the pokey. Let's go to the next one. This is Han Stol-O's profile. He's in Surprise Survivors. Looks like he's doing just fine in Arena, so I don't think that's an issue. But is there anything specifically we need to look at Han Stol-O's profile?
So he wants to look mainly at his mods, in particular trying to figure out for the Sith raid. So he wants to look at his Sith. He wants to focus a good amount on the Sith part in particular.
So mods.
Mods and Sith raid tunes.
Oh, Sith raid tunes. Okay.
Yeah. So everything for the Sith raid. He wants a Sith raid evaluation in particular.
Oh.
So
he's looking for a guild?
He may be. He's trying to see if he can find a guild that can help him with training shards. So he wants to see what he can do to prepare and if he would be competitive, those kind of things.
Well, yeah, I actually might be looking for a replacement soon. So I might be able to help him.
Kylo Ren's available. Dana.
Well, there you go. So Han Stol Theta is on the RSG Discord, and so you can talk to Dana, and she might be able to help you with a particular Sith guild.
There you go.
I want this guy's luck in mods. He has got 20 speed mods with secondary speed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
First one has plus 22 secondary, second one has 20, third 18, 16, 15.
Yeah.
This guy stood in something very smelly at some point in his life. And
it's called Loki Sweat.
It is. This is a Loki Sweat result.
So I'm looking at his roster. It looks like he's gonna have to do some focusing. I would focus first on your JTR team. You've got her unlocked. You've got the characters, but you need to get BB-8 to 85 and geared, JTR to gear 12.
And level 85. She's 82 right now.
Yeah, R2D2. You've got to get up to 85 and gear 12 because that's, or at least gear 11. But to really get the most bang for your buck, gear 12 is worth that. But if you get at least gear 11, then you're in that ballpark where you can do some effective damage. In the heroic Sith raid, if that's what you're looking for, your scavenger ray, same. Unless you can go scavenger ray, resistance trooper. I'm looking for his Hermit Yoda.
No, his resistance trooper is low. He's gonna have to go. His resistance trooper is currently 6-star, level 43, gear 6. So it'll be a scavenger raid team, and then I'm looking to see what his 5th would be on that team because I don't think he has a Hermit Yoda.
I mean, he can go resistance trooper and ray, but he's going to have to scavenger raid.
His resistance trooper is too far out.
Well, but if that's what he wants to do, but you're going to have to gear him up and stuff. So you're going to have to make the call on.
No, he has a 7-star Barris.
We need to go Barris.
She's level 50. She's level 53, gear 7, so she needs work too. But I think that's less work than getting Resistance Trooper up at this point. So
You want to hear his Zetas?
yeah, let's go through his Zetas.
Okay, so he's got CLS that binds all things. He's got Lord of Hunger, Lord of Pain on Darth Sion, No Escape with Darth Vader, and double Zeta on Emperor Palpatine, and that's it.
We got some Zeta farming to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he has Color Run, gear 11. That's good. Other one is gear 10.
Yeah, so
First
and he has
order's
no
there.
Hermit Yoda.
It just needs some gear. I would probably work on Executioner, but
I'm trying to see what he would have to do for his Phase 1 team.
Well, his Phase 1 team is priority. He's got a lot of farming and gear and
yeah,
and
it's a long road for Phase 1.
Yeah, but he's got to get. It's a priority.
Mm-hmm. And it's a good team overall in the game too, so you can use it in different places too. So yeah, go with Jedi Training Rey. Phase 2, he doesn't have Wampa, right?
Breaking news from Color Run. Keyboard is hungry.
he has no Wampa. His Princess Leia is 7-star, level 78, gear 9. So you'll want to work on Princess Leia. Does he have Kenobi?
General Kenobi, yeah, 5-star.
5-star. Okay, so that's not usable in the Heroic Sith. So
5-star gear 6. I was looking at that thinking that's one. I mean, it's an expensive gearing, but
yeah.
But even at 5-star, he's viable.
It's good for arena and stuff, but he's not having an issue with arena.
He's got some work to do with the Night Sisters.
He's got a 7-star zombie. Leave that zombie where it is.
Yeah, don't touch
it. Don't touch your zombie.
Level 55, gear 7, 7-star.
Perfect.
Just leave it.
Speed it up and watch it die.
His Akbar is only 5-star. So
has
his
some serious work
team,
to do with the Trooper team. So his best bet is going to be he's got to finish the JTR team. Hands down.
I don't think he's going to have a Phase 2 team for a while. Just looking at his roster,
well,
he's
he could work in First Order. He's got it pretty much there, but he's going to have to pick, either Night Sisters or First Order, or work on. I would say First Order is pretty much close to being done. So is your Night Sisters. So pick one or the other. I would say work on Night Sisters first because that's a really solid Phase 4 team. We've got the zombie, but you need to get the other characters, especially Asajj, to gear 7.
Yeah.
Or 7-star in gear with those Zetas, because that's how you make that team disgusting. So you got the harder pieces done, but you need to get the other ones done.
Well, let's ask Dana really quick. So I think more people in general have Night Sisters than First Order, and you don't really need a lot of First Order to get rid of the Nihilus in Phase 4. So do you think it's more beneficial for a guild that maybe is getting close to getting Heroic Sith done to work on First Order in that case, since they may already have Night Sisters?
Yeah, see, I really like the Night Sisters, and I think they do a decent amount of damage reliably. I'm not sure. I haven't. My First Order team isn't near being ready to be run, so I don't even know what to expect from them. Just because I haven't.
You can do really good damage in Phase 2. Because of the way they're set up, but it's just who you're running. You've got to have.
Yeah.
You've got to have the Zeta on Trooper, and you got to have the Zetas on Kylo Ren.
Okay.
And then what you do is you have First Order officer there who's just pumping out turn meter to them with Kylo Ren masked, doing his turn meter gain and his AoE. And then what you're doing is you're just sending an Executioner Kassan chopping the entire time, because he just does incredible amounts of damage. And that's how that team works. Now, Night Sisters is different because you go into Phase 4 and it's like, put on auto and win, because they'll do an incredible amount of damage.
Yeah. That's the First Order team actually sounds like a lot of fun.
It is
I
a lot
think
of
I would
fun.
like that. So I'm gonna have to. What kind of numbers do you normally see? Like for the average person, what would you normally see?
You can go easily 3 to 5%, sometimes higher. Depends on how geared they are and stuff. But I mean, I'm not. I'm not the best one to do because I just go in there and I kind of just do some damage and get out. You know, I'm not really trying that hard because my guild is just so ridiculous. So it's not like I have a lot of time to sit there and keep playing around with it and stuff. But I have seen some really good numbers with that team, especially with Executioner. But it's a tough grind, but it's worth it. I mean, they do a lot of good stuff, and they're really great in territory rulers too. So,
yeah, that's tough. The tough one. I don't know. Like you're right. More people I think do have Night Sisters, or at least that's what I see. Because I don't see a lot of I don't see a lot of screenshots from my guild members showing me their first order team and what kind of damage numbers they're putting up. It's mostly Night Sisters, so it could be beneficial to work on the first order.
Yeah, first order for us does pretty well in defense. I mean, it's a tough team. If you don't beat it the first time, you give it turn meter. You're gonna have to let someone else is gonna have to use a really good team to go back in there and try to clean it up. And even then, it's a pain in the ass because they're constantly reaching health and protection and doing assist and just laying stunnion on people. So it's a pretty disgusting team.
Yeah. I mean, and he's got quite a few of them at a decent tier level.
He could finish what we told him first.
He could finish that. But still farming the shards for Ventress and Talia.
Yeah, he could do where he's farming this. That's a great point. He's farming shards for Night Sisters and then working on gear and first order. So by the time he gets those done, he can go ahead and start working on their gear as well. So that could start being a way to go. So, all right. Mods look solid, or how are we looking on mods, fellas?
Mods look good. It looks like, as I say, looks like he hasn't done much in the way yet of speed mods, but what he has done, oh my.
Well, he did or he didn't, damn it, Mike. What the hell's going on?
He did a little bit and got lucky as hell.
He's got 20 speed mods with speed secondaries. 22, 20, 18, 16, 15, 15, 14, 14. Yeah? He did very well. His slowest mod is an 8 speed. He did very well.
He doesn't even have a full page of speed secondaries, and his top row is 22, 20, and 18. So he got some really nice rolls on speed secondaries here. Oh, and none of them are arrows. These are all non-arrows.
These are all non-arrows. Yeah, one of the one on Vader is a speed crit damage triangle with 14 secondary. I want his mods. Give me your mods.
So yeah, you just need more mods in order to get more of your teams up. I think that would help you. So yeah, just keep on farming mods. It looks like you're farming mods reasonably right now. Just keep on working on it. You do need more speed secondaries in general. Your first page overall, not just speed set, but just your overall speed mods. Your first page ends with a +8, so you do need to farm more. So hopefully it'll get all into double digits. So there is some mods there for you. But his mods are on the right characters, those kind of things. I haven't evaluated to see if they're like modded so you have like the fastest speed on any particular character, but all of them are pretty much on his arena team at the top, so not really concerned there.
All right. Anything else we need to look at?
No, that's pretty much it. And then, Han, if you have any questions, just message us in chat.
There you go. All right, let's get to some questions there. Solus one.
Neil Hamp. Question, has anyone tried First Order against Bastila? Apparently First Order has Jedi on lockdown.
I have
Every
not.
team has a counter. I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised by it. I also have a feeling that GK Barris will probably beat the Bastila team as well. It might cause a resurgence of that one. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned about the counter.
I had no problem with Trey does counter the Bastila team.
Trey Lead counters Bastila.
I didn't even have Trey Lead, and I still countered it with no problem. I mean, with a fully done team.
With Emperor Palpatine?
Uh-huh.
Interesting, because most people aren't even able to hit like Pain, or they're not able to hit Shocks or anything because of the tenacity from Bastila right now.
Well, I mean,
it's good.
it's you concentrate on the other. It's more just about isolating, doing your thing, and then when it's time, start annihilating folks, and then it can be done. It's not that hard. You just have to know who to hit and stuff, but it's a little bit. It is more difficult than having Trey. Trey just is like, well, Jedi, nom 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 nom. So, but I can see the Bastila team starting to make its way and become something. So, but it's going to have Traya. It's not a counter to Traya, and most people are running Traya and starting to run her as lead. So, it's a really solid team. It could do some good things. It's a pain in the ass to deal with, but I don't think it's a direct counter to the Traya meta.
It makes a refreshing change. It gives us an option in Arena, rather than just playing the same squad for 60, 70 days before we change over.
Yeah. But I really love Bastila's kit. As soon as the Patreon money comes in, I'm going to use what's there to, try to make an investment and invest in Bastila and try to get her up as high as possible, because I really like her kit a lot. I think it's really good.
Me too. I've zeted her lead and I've omega'd her unique, and then I ran out of omegas.
Right.
I'm thinking about doing that. I have I stockpile stuff so I can do them all. And I just I really like her a lot too. My yesterday I've been talking about her since she came out, and yesterday my husband took the phone. He was like, "Let me see. I need to check something," and he handed it back, and like the thing was flipping, like he hit something, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, what did I hit? I thought I was getting the bronzium for you." And I was like, "Oh, great. You probably hit the chromium, and you wasted my crystals." And at the very end, it flipped over the Bastila shards, and he bought the pack for me. So I was really excited. So now I have her at 4-star.
Cheeky little devil.
Nathaniel Miller, question, thoughts on Bastila since she's been fixed?
I think she's a great character. I really like her kit. Everybody else feels, but I think we're all on the same page. Not so much on Jolie, but Bastila, yeah, she's solid too.
She just negates that Scion AoE, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I mean, really.
And the stun by Palpatine and the initial dots by Vader. Vader still being run. Like she's useful. Now Jolie's interesting. I like Jolie. The problem is you need him 7-star because he's a raid or a PvE character. Yeah. So he's hard for me to say much more on than I like his kit, because I can't play around with him. I took my Bastila to 3-star gear 11, so I can kind of play around with her a little bit. But Jolie's a little bit different because PvE characters, you need a 7-star in order to use them in raids, and so it becomes a little more difficult to say, yeah, it's worth it.
See, I'm wondering.
Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering about whether Bastilis will be viable in raiding.
She maybe, but there's what dot heavy or debuff heavy team is there really right now in the Sith? Right, so you may get like the debuffs from Scion in Phase 2, right? But you actually kind of want it on certain characters. You're not going to be running necessarily full Jedi with that. Traya, I don't think you can resist the isolate, so it doesn't really help there. Maybe if you figure out a way for Jedi to do damage in Phase 3, and so you can avoid having to deal with like the retribution problem or anything like that, maybe in Phase 3. It's just there aren't very many debuff heavy things in the raids right now. Now, that isn't to say that later on there's a new raid that's all debuff oriented and Jedi are going to be the masters. And I'm not even considering going back and looking at heroic AAT, because something like Phase 1 with the Bastila lead, Grievous is probably never going to be able to put dots on you. You may be able to run a Kenobi sync that will never die with a Bastila lead and Kenobi who puts retribution on everyone. You can use a Maul for the days and then throw in your Jawa and then your your First Order TIE Pilot or whoever it is you're using for the double hit in order to get the 7 hits. You can do that probably in Phase 1 and survive that for quite a while. So, but latest raid, Sith raid, I mean, you might be able to get some squads that do damage, but I don't think it's going to be anything that really replaces anything that's already out there.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just looking for secondaries that post reasonable.
Yeah.
All right.
Nathaniel Morgan, question might be redundant, but does Bastila need to be nerfed? If not, what are the counters?
No, she does not need to be nerfed. She needs to be fixed, first of all. Trey is an automatic counter to her. I'm trying to think. I mean, we just listed a bunch of them. So
Varys is a counter to her as well. That's another one.
What about would Maul be a counter? It would be a speed race, wouldn't it?
It would be. You wouldn't be able to put any of the days from Maul on the Jedi, so that may be a potential concern. But
or maybe even Cad Bane. He hates Jedis.
Yeah, you could potentially do like a whole counter squad with that, but yeah.
I know it'll be Tuscans.
No.
No.
No. Just wrong. I can't think of any other counters, but I mean, I'm sure that maybe First Order.
People were talking, about First Order earlier.
Yeah, so
Night Sisters. She won't clear plague.
I don't think Night Sisters per se, because they're constantly regenerating health and protection. So Night Sisters may not be the two. But I can see some of the other ones being able to do it. So, all right. Next question.
Thane Kyrell, question: now that Bastila is in game and Revan on his way, do you think that we will see Satele Shan coming after them? It would be a good setup to see the Eternal Twin after that.
Oh God, here we go with the Eternal. I knew that this war was leading. So Finn, I don't even want to respond. Go ahead, Finn.
Yes. Next question.
Chewie, question: what do you think the schedule will be for the new tunes, and when do you think the slicing update will be released?
Sing I think that the other three tunes will come here in the next couple weeks, right? And then it'll be incremental after that.
Slicing in a month. Slicing
I
fixed
think
by
a
Christmas.
couple weeks slicing will come in. I think some of the other three characters they said for the Old Republic will come in. I'm trying to think of. I mean, the rest of it. I mean, it'll be incremented before. But I don't think we'll get any other characters other than maybe Malik and some other things. I think they're going to do some reworks.
Is it wrong that I'm absolutely petrified now of slicing and people with APKs when you're going to go into someone they're going to have like 1,000 secondary speed on one mod?
No, I don't know. We have to see how it plays out. Until we actually get our hands on what's going to actually get into the nitty gritty, then I don't know yet. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's the law of the land. All right, next question.
Okay, Nathaniel Morgan, question: are the people that Zeta Yoda lead salty AF?
It should be, because we told you not to do it in the first place.
We told you not to do it.
Yoda was not a game-breaking character with his rework. His kit was definitely designed for something more to come. We told you guys this when it came out. So if you went ahead and Zeta your Yoda, that's up to you. We told you that you can tell when the way that they release things, they don't just throw out these single updates to characters if it's not part of a bigger kit. Like, they're not just updating Yoda and being like, okay, we're just doing an update of Yoda just to kind of throw it out there. No, that's not how it works. They're doing this to build up so you can use a Yoda under Bastila lead, and now you have like this team that's just resistant to the Emperor Palpatine meta. That's how they build it. So we told you guys to wait for a reason. If you didn't wait, you should be salty AF with yourself for not waiting.
Why don't those toes, man?
Nathaniel Morgan, question, thoughts on Greedo in Chex Mix doing 6.78 million. Is Greedo the next priority gear for 6th raid?
Hell no! Oh my god, hell no! Oh my god, are you... So, watch that and see how much freaking RNG you need for that squad. Skeltrix does a great job in explaining that video, right? So you guys have to pay attention, but do you realize how much RNG you need to get that run to actually work out correctly? Because Greedo is not a high rate counter. He's not as much as Han. He gets a lot of counters, but he's not like a super counter team person. So you have to do RNG with his counterattacks. God, I mean, if you want to, go ahead. A lot of guilds don't even have time to set up that team in order to do the damage. So, no. God, no.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You can work on... So Greedo is not a bad character, but I wouldn't do him for Phase 3. If you want to work on Greedo, now that Bosk is available... I know B's not here. He would be happy. But now that Bosk is available and free-to-play, that's where you'll want to try and build. If you really want to work on Greedo, build it around a bounty hunter team with the Zeta Bosk lead. That's the direction of Greedo. I would not recommend for Phase 3 to work on Greedo, because you will almost like you may stab yourself in the eye because you won't have enough time to get the RNG you need to get that run to work.
All right.
Kazakage too easy. I thought I was muted. Kazakage too easy. My new Sith apprentice. Question: does Scav Ray need Zeta for JTR Sith raid team?
No.
Can't wait for my roster review.
Nope.
No, you definitely don't need that. Doria-san, question: what is the best first ship reinforcement to max? Sunfac or Phantom or other?
Are you using them? I guess that's the question. I use Sunpack, but I was also playing around with Phantom, so I have both of them done. Strange thing about Phantom, it throws off my sequence in ships. As weird as that sounds. So, like, the first turn, I'll usually call my TIE Advance to attack, right? And so I use the basic and then get TIE Advance to deal, like, additional dots to their bigs or something like that. And then the next round, I would typically bring in, like, a Sunfac or maybe a TIE Reaper, depending on what was on the board. If I brought in a Phantom, I would bring in a ship on the third turn, but that third turn, I really like having the heal with Chimera. And so I was losing that heal and finding that my ships were actually dying a little bit more because they were a little bit worn down by that point, and I couldn't do the heal because now I have the ability to bring in another ship. Now, I don't have Plo Koon. I think Plo Koon would be the solution to that, so I could bring in Plo Koon and then heal everyone with his reinforcement ability. But I max out Phantom. I played around with it. It is a lot of fun to bring in another ship, but I haven't been able to find like the perfect use for it in Fleet. I think it works better with the Geonosians. I think I would go with Sunfac, unless you plan on shifting to a triple Geonosian lineup and bringing up Biggs off the bench, in which case then you'd be wasting that reinforcement. So it depends on what your lineup is and what you're using. But both of them are good.
Okay, Chewy, question: which/any solo tunes you are looking forward to farm? Where do you think they will be putting those tunes? Well, I'm looking forward to farming Enfys Nest. Other than that, the Ginger Ninja. Other than that, I don't really care about the other ones.
Yeah.
Lando L2 and the new Millennium Falcon. I love that new Millennium Falcon. I want to get it to 7 stars.
Oh, yeah,
Well, you
of
can
course I
have
want
it
that.
7 stars, Finn, so tough.
Well, I think the Millennium Falcon ship is going to end up in, I think, actually, unfortunately, all three of them, Lando, L2, and the Millennium Falcon, are going to end up in Fleet Table, which is going to be a pain.
But you have to 7-star all the pilots. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think it's going to be a pain that they're going to put all, I don't know. I have this weird feeling they're going to put all of them on the Fleet Table.
If they're on the same node, it could be okay.
Yeah.
But I doubt they'd do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm also looking forward to Kira. I like Kira's lead with the solo team. So,
Yeah.
and I think Kira's going to end up in the guild store. That's my guess.
I zeeted her.
I want to, but I still need to work on her gear and stuff. So. Oh, sorry, not L2, L3.
L4, L5, L6.
Yeah. Not L2, L3.
All right.
Danilo Papai's question says, Wreck ship has synergy with other Galactic Republic ships. Is it a viable fleet in Arena using mostly/only those, or did it get ruined by ships 2.0?
Viable on defense, not offense.
Yeah. Defense, that team is really good, but on offense, it
Yep.
doesn't hit hard enough.
Isn't that team a hold them at bay until that you can send the swarm in?
Yep.
That's basic. It's a wall.
I like it with Mace.
Yeah, I use it with Mace. I mean, all the Galactic Republic ships are
nasty in territory wars on defense too.
We use them on defense, and I'm telling you that they're a pain in the ass to deal with because they're constantly regenerating health, protection, assist. You know, they're a tough team to get around. You have to bring your A team in there to do it because they're just that good.
That's a team where Ty Advance coming off the bench really can be deadly.
Yeah, but a lot of people still use that lineup on their defense with either a Tarkin or a Chimera with the Biggs, TIE Advance, TIE Fighter pilot. They use that as their starting lineup on defense. And then when you do that, you lose ships in order to fight the Galactic Republic Mace. It's actually pretty nasty. That team is really hard to beat if you don't have the proper ships, which kind of makes you, depending on where you are in territory wars, like try to figure out which ship you're keeping on offense and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty neat.
Doya's son question: is it true that Loki sweat is a hallucinogen?
It's a lot of things.
Maybe an aphrodisiac.
I mean, it's a. In some cultures,
it's whatever you want it to be. You just gotta believe.
Yeah, it's in some cultures it's manna from heaven. I mean, it just depends on where in the world you find it at.
Nathaniel Miller question: best Leia team for Sith Triumvirate Raid Phase 2, Newt or Akbar lead, which tanks, etc.
Go ahead, Finn.
Okay, so I've had more success with Akbar. I tried to play around with the Newt team, which was so since they fixed Hermit Yoda, I tried out Newt with Leia, Acolyte, Zombie, and Hermit Yoda. It's a pretty fun team to play around with. It didn't do as much damage as I was hoping. So then I went to a more tankier type of team with that one. And I went to Newt with Leia, Kenobi, Sabine, and Hermit Yoda. That team did a little bit better. But again, the survivability didn't seem to be there as much and not as much damage being pumped out by Leia. I liked the Akbar lead better. Akbar with Leia, Kenobi, Hermit Yoda, and Shore Trooper. That's the team that I ran, and you get a lot more assists called by Leia with Shore Trooper. It became much better for me that way. I'm looking through some of the screenshots to see what other Leia teams have been doing. Honestly, a lot of them for the high damage ones have shifted over to Wampa. Wampa seems to be the better Phase 2 team now. Leia is kind of the lower one. If you don't have Wampa,
what speed was your Shore Trooper?
One. Huh?
What speed was your Shore Trooper?
My Shore Trooper was 1 second. Are you Shore Trooper? There you are. Shore Trooper is 139 speed.
So you could have really bumped that up.
Yeah, I could have got him much faster. I was trying to get him tanky because he's only gear 11. He's not gear 12, and he's still kind of squishy at gear 11.
Yeah.
So because of that, I was focusing a lot more on health rather than speed to get him to survive and take those hits. Because I was noticing he was dying too quickly otherwise.
Does he take the heals from Akbar cleansing?
I think
I'm just wondering whether. Sorry.
he should. I believe, and I can't remember off back because I wasn't paying attention specifically, but I'm pretty sure Akbar heals everyone. I'll check his ability right now. The other team, by the way, was the one that does better right now with Leia is actually a Kenobi lead, not a Newt or a Akbar lead, and it's actually Kenobi, Thrawn, Hermit Yoda, Sabine, and Princess Leia. That team seems to be doing the best in terms of Phase 2 Princess Leia damage, so I may focus on that one if you're looking for a Princess Leia team. So,
Paul Morgan, question, does Scion need speed until he is Gear 12?
he needs gear speed even after Gear 12.
Mm-hmm. Doya-san, question, when buying stun guns with crystals, 2,541 crystals for fully complete or 1,274 crystals for complete, in quotes, and farm the Carbanti half elsewhere, i.e. guild store, nodes, etc.
Carbantis give you the best value from just farming them with regular nodes because they actually have an 8 energy node.
Yep.
Versus a lot of the other ones which are 10 energy. So if you're looking to buy the full stun gun, you're better off buying just the stun gun part of it, not the Carbanti part. So the 12, I can't remember the exact, what was it, 1240? I think it was, Sanely?
1274.
1274. So you can buy that and then just farm with your energy the Carbantis. Plus you get, through a week, you will get a full Carbanti from the challenges. So if you do all your challenges, every week you'll get one full Carbanti piece. So even then, you might just want to wait a week and get the stun gun, and then you'll get your full piece. So yeah, I wouldn't bother buying the full one unless you really have like extra resources and you don't care.
Doya-san, question, has any of the RSG crew invested in Range Trooper? And has anyone tried it in the Thrawn Magma team?
Well, go ahead.
You mean Sanely Trooper?
Yeah, it's a Sanely Trooper for one. And yeah, I got him 7-star, Gear 12. I actually 7-starred him during the charity stream like 3 weeks ago. But no, I have not run that in the Thrawn Magma team because my Magma Trooper is not all that geared up.
Magma. All right.
Doya-san, question, this time last year we got Vets, Han, and Chewie needed for JTR in winter. If this is anything like last year, will we see a legendary KOTOR even needing these 2 new Jedi in Christmas?
Yes, Malik.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare yourself.
Start saving your crystals. Start saving crystals, start saving guild store currency. Weirdly enough, and I don't think there's going to be one here, start saving up your guild event currency if you can. Assuming that you don't really have anything else you're working on, you can start saving up that. I don't think they're going to put anything in guild events. I think they're going to restrict that just to the Hermit Yoda and Wampa. Or unless they add a new character to territory battles, then we may get like another map to territory wars, then we may get or territory battles. If we got another map for territory battles, we may get another character, but I don't think it's going to be related to the legendary or the free drops. So start saving up those currencies.
There you go.
And save crystals, because now there are 3 different tables, right? We have ship currency, or the ship energy, we have the hard node energy, the regular energy, and we have cantina energy. And all of those places are places where characters can be dropped. And so it becomes near impossible for most players, even at the high level, unless you're getting like rank 1 and everything, which is difficult if you're like sharing a payout with anyone. You're going to run out of crystals if you do 3 refreshes on Cantina table, 3 refreshes on Fleet tables, 3 refreshes on your regular energy tables. You're going to run out of crystals, so start saving up those crystals now, because there's no knowing how you need to spend them in order to get your characters ready for whatever legendary may drop. Because you know there's not going to be a huge amount of time, but there will be enough time if you have crystals saved up, because it is a 7-star unlock for legendaries, or for a journey character. For legendaries, you can get 5 stars, so you may be able to buy yourself more time. But if they put a journey character out there, Yeah, you're gonna need all of the crystals you can, so just get ready.
Luke Thyrocker, question, what are your thoughts on Holdo in Territory Wars? Would she be with JTR or Finn?
JTR.
Mm,
JTR. You want Rose with Finn.
I would actually say both. With both of them with Finn. Because Holdo, so if you don't put R2 on the Finn team, right, you don't have an AoE, and that AoE from Holdo to trigger all of the exposes in order to get you full turn meter is really, really handy. I actually like sticking Holdo on the...
He said handy.
On the Finn team. So I like sticking Holdo and Rose with Finn, Poe, and Resistance Trooper as the Finn team. And then leaving Jedi Training Rey with R2 and BB-8, and then you can use you kind of don't even need a tank on the Jedi Training Rey team. You could do a Scavenger Rey and a Visas Mar, and it becomes a pretty effective team on offense. If you're putting it on defense, you're better off with like a Kenobi or something, anyways. So I mean my thing would be to put Holdo on the Finn team with Rose, Finn, Poe, and Resistance Trooper.
What else? 73 question, what are alternatives for Bastila Shan if you don't have Hermit Yoda but have the other big Jedi?
I want to play around with her a little bit, but it's the damn it, what is this? The combo of Bastila and Grandmaster Yoda.
Yes.
That one alone, I think, is enough. I think that's, I mean, just those two plus whatever you want.
Science.
Yeah.
Old Ben seems to be a useful one to have in there with the ability blocks.
Thane Kyrell, wait, Holdo doesn't trigger an AoE expose under Finn? What is he talking about?
I'm not saying she triggers the expose. Once you get exposes on a bunch of characters, right? If the turn meters aren't in your favor, you can do the AoE and it triggers the turn meter gain because you're hitting characters with expose. She doesn't give exposes, but she hits all of the characters that have exposes, feeding you turn meter. She replaces essentially what R2 was doing when he did his what's it called? The AoE, the burning, whatever it's called. That's what I'm talking about. Because you want to keep R2 on the Jedi Training Rey team, you replace that with the AoE from Holdo, which hits all of the exposes, feeds your entire Resistance team turn meter, and then you can go again. So it's almost like a full turn meter gain as a result of hitting all of the exposes at once. Which has come in handy in territory battles, by the way, when you get like these weird like resistings and stuff from Poe. When Poe doesn't hit like all of the exposes and you only get like 3 of them, but it's enough to feed your team turn meter and get them to go before the other stuff in territory battles. So.
Nathaniel Morgan, question, so would the expected value of Greedo mix be lower than Han mix due to high variance?
Wait, what?
Okay.
So would the expected value of Greedo mix be lower than Han mix due to high variance?
Yes, because everyone will do the Chex mix and finish it before you get the RNG.
Okay.
Science. Tim Timmons, question, I'm at 38 Zeta mats right now. When I get to 40, should I Zeta Nest and Wampa's Unique or Nest and Bosk lead? My other Zetas are Vader, Veers, Boba, Finn, and Raid Han.
Okay.
Are you planning on using them in arena?
For real.
I mean, okay, so Nest is unique, ignores taunt, right? That's kind of the whole purpose of it. If you're not using Nest in arena, and you're using her in the Sith raid, it becomes a semi-useless Zeta. Same thing with Wampa's unique. You're not really putting dots on anyone in the Sith raid. So if you're using it for phase 2 of the Sith raid, you're not getting a huge benefit. You increase the counter chance, but you're not getting a huge benefit out of the Zeta. So if you're not stacking a bunch of dots, then there's not like a huge point to Cornered Beast. So, and I'm assuming that's the one you're talking about. There's even less of a use for the healing immunity in raids. So I'm assuming that's not the one you're talking about. So neither of them really needs a Zeta unless you're using them in Arena. I don't know what team you're running in Arena, so I can't tell you which Zeta is or isn't worth it. Boss lead is a lead you need in order to kind of get you don't need to. You can do a Boba lead as well. I like the Boss lead. In order to run that, though, you do need the Zeta. The only thing is you need a lot of investment in your bounty hunters, and I don't know how invested you are in your bounty hunters. So unless your team is ready, you're better off just saving the Zeta and make sure you know if you're putting the Zeta, why you're using them. So if it's for arena purposes, yeah, go ahead and put your Zetas on Nest. Go ahead and put your Zetas on Wampa. If you're not using them in arena, you're using them more in the Sith raid and just trying to get extra damage, yeah, don't just save your Zetas. Don't forget there's new characters coming out too. We already saw Bastila is viable at 3-star, 4-star if you put a Zeta on her, right? There could be more characters coming down the line that are the same way, that only need a Zeta, and you can run them at 3-star, and you don't want to miss out on that because you put a Zeta on your Wampa, who you're only using in raids, and doesn't apply dots because their tenacity is too high, and doesn't do healing immunity because they resist that stuff. So it depends on your roster, but
more
you might
dots.
just want to...
Okay, he clarified the question was from a buddy. I don't know if he is talking about arena or not. Sorry, I probably should have clarified first.
No worries. I mean, you'd be surprised. So if people, and I know Thane kind of trolls us a lot in the chat and stuff with what we say, but I think he would agree with this because Thane is actually really good with giving advice and stuff too. If you ask a question, very few questions have a very general response, right? You can ask us whether something is good or not, and we can tell you, yeah, it's good. The question of whether or not to do one thing or another is so highly dependent on where your roster is that it's sometimes hard to answer it from a general perspective. So we try to give you the scenarios as to like, this is a good time for you to use it. This is a good time for you not to do the Zeta, right? So if your buddy is asking you this question, now hopefully you have an idea if he asks you again, like, okay, so should I put a Zeta on Wampa? Should I put a Zeta on Nest? Well, are you using them in Arena? No, I'm only using them in Sith Raid. Well, they're not going to have any real effect in Sith Raid, so no, don't bother putting your Zetas on them. Or he says, yes, I'm using Enfys Nest every day in my team. Then yes, you want to put a Zeta on him. Are you using Wampa? No, then no, you don't need to put a Zeta on him. So it's more learning about the conditions as well as to when something is or is not effective to put. And depending on where your roster is, there may be some better uses for your Zeta. So hopefully that helps you, Tim. I know you're saying you're asking for a buddy. If your buddy asks you again, now you have an idea, right? Like if he asks you this, are you talking about Arena? Just ask him flat out, what is this for? Then he can say,
more
no,
dots.
this isn't for Arena, Sith Raid. Yes, more dots.
Danilo Papais. Question: my Darth Nihilus and Emperor Palpatine are the first to die in Arena in my team. Do they need to be remodded for survivability, or do I have to use mods with more speed to avoid it by killing the opponent team?
How fast is your Scion?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say without actually seeing what you're doing, right? I mean, it could be your kill order. It could be a lot of things that's going on with that. So, yeah, I mean, if you can get mods that have high speed, but give you a lot of protection and health, I think that's always great, right? For those characters, but it's hard for us to say because we don't have all the information of like who you're facing. Are they going before you? How hard are they hitting you? Those kind of things. So it's kind of hard for us to judge to tell you what you're missing. So we'd have to get a little bit more information before we give you a definite answer. I mean, more speed, health, and protection on anything is always good. That may be the answer. If I'll say this, if the teams you're facing are going before you and just raffle stomping you, then it's a speed issue, right? And a little bit of survivability, because it means your characters are weak enough that they're going before you, and just before you know it, you're missing 2 pieces. So it could be your mod, so that could be an issue too, or it could be who you're attacking and when, which gives them a certain chance to go for one of your characters. So there's a lot to it, but I would initially say, yeah, if they're going before you and hitting you like a truck, then you probably need to look at your mods a little bit.
And that's all the questions.
All right. Hey, we got through all the questions, guys. All right, so we're going to end the stream there. I'd like to thank the crew for hanging out. If you have more questions, you can come to our Discord. It's linked down below, and we will be more than glad to help you out. We have a community of over 1,000 people from all over that will be more than glad to help you guys with any of your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions for your rosters, things of that nature. That's what it's there for. That's what it's designed to do, and just come out and meet a bunch of great people. That's what it's all about. And then also you can check us out after this on YouTube with YouTube Premium, or you can download us on the podcast like from iTunes store. So there's a lot of different ways you can listen to us after the fact. If you'd like to support us, make sure you hit the bell. The way to hit the bell is if you subscribe, and if you subscribe, make sure you give us a thumbs up on the video. It really helps us get the word out and helps us grow the channel, and every little bit helps. So we really appreciate it. So make sure you hit that like on this video today, guys, and make sure if you're not subscribed, why not? You're actually watching us, you like what we put out, so subscribing just lets you know when we're putting out information and helps the channel grow. Make sure you check out our Patreon. We got our Amazon wish list. We will be doing this like we do all the time from 12 to 1 all Monday through Friday. We'll try to do a little bit more fun stuff this week. But remember, we got the Wednesday night show, we got the shows on Saturday, and then the D&D stuff. And then once I figured out what Van's class schedule is going to be and stuff, we'll get the Battlefront 2 stuff going again. I think it's going to be more on the weekends now. They'll be doing more Battlefront with his new school schedule, but we'll let you know. So stay tuned for that. And if you have questions, just come look us up in Discord, and we'll get you squared away. All right, so thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday. On behalf of myself and the RSG crew, thank you for stopping by, and we will check you out for our next stream. Peace.